Life is not fair. People will betray you, you will fail, you will cry, you will feel lost. But listen to me. What you do next will define you. Strength isn't about muscles, it's about your mind. And if you don't train your mind, the world will break you before you even start. Do you want to be unstoppable? Do you want to be fearless? Then it's time to become mentally strong. Imagine this. You post a picture and the likes don't come in as fast as you expected. Your heart sinks a little. You refresh the page, hoping for more. When someone compliments you, you feel great. But when they criticize you, your whole day is ruined. Why? Because deep down, you are waiting for the world to tell you that you are enough. But let me break this for you. If you keep chasing validation from others, you will always be a slave to their opinions. Look around. How many times have you changed your outfit because you thought, what if they don't like it? How many times have you stopped yourself from speaking up in a meeting thinking, what if they think I'm wrong? How many times have you edited your words, your personality, your dreams, just to fit in? Here's the truth. The world is never satisfied. You can be the kindest, smartest, most talented person in the room, and still someone will find a reason to criticize you. You wear simple clothes, oh, she has no style. You wear designer brands, oh, she's too flashy. You stay quiet, she's boring. You speak your mind, she's too loud. It's a game you can never win. So what do? You stop playing their game. You start approving yourself. Let me tell you something powerful. The person who needs to believe in you the most is you. Not your friends, not your family, not your social media followers, you. Because the day you start looking in the mirror and saying, I am enough, is the day no one can shake you anymore. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they waited for approval? Imagine if Steve Jobs had waited for people to believe in his vision before he created Apple. Imagine if Oprah had waited for people to accept her before becoming one of the most powerful women in media. They were rejected, they were doubted, but they kept going because they didn't need the world's permission to be great. And you are no different. You have dreams, ideas, talents, but you are holding yourself back because you are afraid of what they will say. But let me ask you, who are they? Are they the ones paying your bills? Are they the ones living your life? Will they be the ones regretting your missed opportunities? No, the only person who will live with the consequences of your choices is you. So why give them so much power? Let's get real for a moment. Imagine you're at a party. You walk in confidently, wearing an outfit you love, feeling good, but then you overhear someone whisper, oh, what is she wearing? What happens? Your mood drops. You suddenly feel self-conscious, but pause. Did your clothes change? No. Did your personality change? No. The only thing that changed was your confidence, because you allowed someone else's opinion to take it away. Now imagine the same situation, but this time you hear the comment and you think, so what? I like it. I feel good. You smile, hold your head high, and continue enjoying yourself. See the difference. The moment you stop needing validation, you become untouchable. This applies to every part of your life. You want to start a business? People will doubt you. Start anyway. You want to change careers? People will question you. Change anyway. You want to take a risk, follow a dream, live on your own terms? People will talk. Let them. Their opinions won't pay your bills. Their words won't shape your destiny. There's a story of a little girl who loved to paint. She painted every day, creating colorful, beautiful art. One day, she showed her paintings to a few people, hoping they would love them as much as she did, but instead they laughed. This is childish, they said. The little girl was heartbroken. She put away her brushes, stopped painting, and never created art again. Now imagine another version of the story. The little girl shows her paintings, people laugh, but instead of feeling defeated, she smiles and says, that's okay, I paint for myself, not for you. And she keeps painting. Years later, she becomes an artist, living her dream, while those who doubted her remain exactly where they were. The difference? She didn't let their opinions decide her worth. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you take your power back. You stop living for applause and start living for your purpose. You stop bending yourself to fit into other people's expectations and start shaping the life you want. Let people talk, let them judge, let them misunderstand you. None of it matters. The only thing that matters is how you see yourself. Approve yourself. Because once you do, the world will have no choice but to respect you. There is immense power in silence, but most people will never understand it. They think power comes from being the loudest voice in the room, from proving a point, from winning an argument. But true power comes from the person who knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. It is control, it is discipline. And if you master it, you will have an advantage over everyone who doesn't. Think about the last time someone insulted you, provoked you, or tried to get a reaction out of you. Maybe they were testing your patience, pushing your buttons, waiting for you to explode. And you did. You raised your voice, defended yourself, explained, reacted exactly how they wanted. And in that moment, they won. Not because they were right, but because they made you lose control. Now, picture this. Someone throws an insult at you, expecting a reaction. But instead of responding, you just smile. You say nothing. You let your silence speak for itself. What happens next? They get frustrated. They feel powerless. They try harder to get a response, but the more silent you stay, the stronger you appear. Because silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to sit with their own words, to question themselves. When you don't react, you take away their power. And when you take away their power, you become the one in control. Look at the most powerful people in the world. Billionaires, leaders, visionaries. They don't waste words. They don't explain themselves to everyone. They observe, they analyze, they speak only when necessary. And when they do, people listen because their silence gives weight to their words. But most people, they talk too much. They explain too much. They beg to be understood. They let their emotions speak for them. And that's why they stay powerless. Think about a chess game. The player who moves too quickly, too predictably, loses. But the player who waits, who stays calm, who doesn't reveal their strategy, that's the player who wins. In life, you must learn to be that player. The one who doesn't show all their cards, the one who doesn't let people know what they're thinking, feeling, or planning, because the less people know about you, the less they can use against you. There's an old saying, a lion doesn't need to announce that it's a lion. It simply exists and the world respects it. The same goes for you. Your silence should demand respect, not your words. Think about social media. How many times have you seen someone post their every thought, every emotion, every struggle? They think they are being open, but what they are really doing is giving the world ammunition to judge them, to criticize them, to manipulate them. Now think about the ones who don't post their every move. The ones who move in silence, who build their success quietly. When they finally speak, when they finally make a move, it's powerful, it shocks people. Because nobody saw it coming. That is the power of silence. Even in relationships, silence is power. The moment you stop chasing, begging, or over-explaining, you shift the dynamic. The moment you stop responding to toxic people, they lose control over you. The moment you stop seeking closure and just walk away, you become untouchable. Imagine this. Someone you love hurts you. Your first instinct, to argue, to demand answers, to make them see your pain. But what if instead you just walked away? No explanations, no emotional breakdowns, just silence. They would be left wondering, regretting. Because silence is louder than words. It lingers. It stays in the mind. It makes people uncomfortable. And that discomfort, that is your power. There's a reason why the most intelligent and successful people are also the ones who speak the least. They don't waste energy on meaningless conversations. They don't engage in arguments that don't serve them. They know that silence forces people to reveal themselves. When you say nothing, you let others expose who they really are. Think about job interviews. The smartest candidates don't ramble. They answer questions clearly and then stop talking, letting the silence sit. Because they understand that silence makes people want to fill the gap. It makes the interviewer uncomfortable, so they keep talking, giving away more than they intended. That's strategy. Even in negotiations, silence is power. Imagine you're negotiating your salary. Most people panic when there's silence, so they start talking, lowering their demands, trying to justify why they deserve more. But the smartest negotiators, they state their price, then stay silent. And that silence, it forces the other person to speak first, to reconsider, to feel pressured, and that pressure, that is control. There is a reason why silence is used as a punishment, as a weapon, as a form of dominance. Because it works. It forces people to think. It forces people to feel. It forces people to respect you. And once you master it, you will never be the same again. You failed. So what? Does that mean your life is over? Does that mean you are not good enough? Does that mean you should stop trying? No. Failure is not a punishment. It is not the universe telling you to give up. It is a lesson, a message, a redirection. The only question is, will you learn from it or will you let it break you? Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got there without failing? Steve Jobs was fired from the company he built. Oprah was told she wasn't good enough for television. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. If they had taken failure as a life sentence, you wouldn't even know their names today. But most people, they fail once and they quit. They take it personally. They start believing that failure is proof that they are not good enough. But failure is not proof of your weakness. It is proof that you are trying. It is proof that you are pushing beyond your comfort zone. And every single time you fail, you are one step closer to getting it right. Imagine a child learning to walk. They fall, they stumble, they hit the ground over and over. But do they stop trying? No. Because they don't see falling as failure, they see it as part of the process. And because they keep getting up, one day they walk, one day they run, one day they never look back. But as we grow older, we forget that. We let fear of failure stop us from taking risks. We let embarrassment keep us from trying again. We let one rejection, one mistake, one setback define us. But why? Why do we see failure as the end instead of the beginning? Picture this, you start a business and it fails. You lose money, people laugh, you feel humiliated, you think maybe I'm not cut out for this. And so you give up. But what if you had just kept going? What if you had learned from what went wrong and tried again? Because here's the truth. Your first failure is never your final failure, unless you make it so. Think of Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. But when someone asked him how it felt to fail so many times, he said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 ways. That didn't work. That is the mindset of a winner. That is how you take failure and turn it into success. And let's talk about rejection. You go for an interview and they don't hire you. You take it personally. You start doubting yourself. But what if that rejection wasn't meant to break you, but to lead you to something better? What if you didn't get that job because you were meant for something bigger? What if that relationship that ended was never meant to last because you deserved better? What if every no was just pushing you towards the right yes? Failure teaches you things that success never will. It teaches you resilience, it teaches you patience, it teaches you what works and what doesn't. And most importantly, it teaches you who you really are. Because anyone can be confident when everything is going well. But true strength, true character, that is built in the moments when everything falls apart. You ever notice how the most inspiring people are the ones who have suffered, struggled, and failed? That's not a coincidence. That's because pain and failure shape people in ways that success never could. They sharpen you. They make you wiser, stronger, and fearless. Now imagine this. You are standing in front of two doors. One says easy, the other says greatness. Which one do you choose? Most people will choose easy. Most people will take the path where they don't have to risk failing. But you, if you want more from life, if you want to be unstoppable, you take the door to greatness. And that door comes with failure, it comes with rejection, it comes with struggle. But at the end of it, that's where success is waiting for you. Most people see failure as a wall, but you need to see it as a stepping stone. Because every great success story started with a failure. The only difference between those who make it and those who don't, the ones who make it never stop trying. They learn, they adapt, they keep moving forward. Because failure is not your enemy, it is your teacher. And the sooner you stop fearing it, the sooner you will realize that it was never stopping you, you were stopping yourself. Your emotions are powerful, but if you don't control them, they will control you. They will turn you into a puppet, reacting to everything, losing control, making decisions you will regret. And the worst part, the world will use your emotions against you. It will manipulate you, provoke you, test you. The moment someone knows what makes you angry, what makes you sad, what makes you weak, they own you. But the moment you master your emotions, you become unstoppable. Think about a moment when someone insulted you. Maybe they questioned your worth, attacked your character, or tried to bring you down. How did you react? Did you get angry? Did you argue? Did you let their words ruin your day? That was them controlling you. That was them pushing a button and getting exactly the reaction they wanted. But what if instead you just smiled? What if you refused to give them power over you? Imagine how powerful that would make you. This is what strong people understand. Your emotions should never be on public display for anyone to control. The moment you let anger, sadness, jealousy, or insecurity dictate your actions, you become predictable. And predictability is weakness. When people can predict your reactions, they can control your life. But when you stay calm, composed, and unshaken, you hold all the power. Look at the greatest leaders, the most successful individuals. They don't make decisions when they're emotional. They don't react to provocation. They pause, they think, they wait. Because emotional reactions are expensive. They cost you respect, opportunities, and sometimes even your future. Imagine you're in a heated argument. Your emotions tell you to scream, to prove your point, to let your anger out. But what happens next? You say things you regret. You damage relationships. You lose credibility. Now imagine the opposite. You stay silent. You breathe. You don't let them get under your skin. Suddenly the other person feels powerless. They expected a reaction, but you gave them nothing. That is control. Think of a poker game. The best players never reveal their emotions. They don't let excitement or disappointment show on their faces. Why? Because the moment they do, the other players use it against them. Life is the same. The less you react, the more control you have. Now let's talk about sadness. Life will hit you with pain, betrayal, disappointment. It's okay to feel, but it's not okay to let those feelings consume you. The moment you allow sadness to dictate your life, you lose control. Strong people acknowledge their pain, but they don't become prisoners of it. They use it as fuel. Think about a heartbreak. Someone leaves you, and suddenly you feel lost. You stop eating, stop focusing, stop being yourself. And while you are drowning in emotions, the other person moves on, living their life. Why? Because they control their emotions better than you did. But imagine if instead of breaking down, you use that pain to become the best version of yourself. Imagine if you took that sadness and turned it into motivation, into discipline, into success. That is what separates the weak from the strong. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is the emotion that stops most people from achieving greatness. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what people will say. But the truth is, fear is nothing but a thought. It exists only in your mind. And the moment you decide to move despite the fear, you break free. Think about someone who never speaks up in meetings because they are afraid of sounding stupid. That fear controls them, keeps them invisible. Now think about someone who speaks with confidence, even if they are nervous inside. That is power. That is control. Jealousy is another emotion that can destroy you if you let it. How many times have you scrolled through social media and felt bitter seeing someone else succeed? You start thinking, why them and not me? But what if instead of jealousy, you turn that feeling into inspiration? What if instead of resenting others, you learn from them? That shift in emotion can change your entire life. And what about impatience? You want success, but when it doesn't come fast enough, you get frustrated, you doubt yourself, you quit. That is emotion controlling you. But strong people know that patience is the real power. They don't rush. They trust the process. They keep moving forward no matter how slow it feels. The secret is simple. Your emotions are not meant to be suppressed, but they must be controlled. You can feel, but you cannot let feelings make decisions for you. The moment you become the master of your emotions, you become the master of your life. Some people are like poison. They drain your energy, fill your mind with doubt, and keep you trapped in cycles of negativity. You know who they are? The ones who always complain, who never support your dreams, who criticize you when you try to grow, the ones who always make you feel guilty for wanting more out of life. And yet, you hold on to them. Why? Because you feel bad. Because you think you owe them something. Because they've been in your life for years. But tell me, how long will you let them hold you back? How long will you let their negativity stop you from becoming who you are meant to be? Cutting off negative people is not cruelty. It is self-respect. It is choosing your peace over their drama. It is choosing your growth over their toxicity. And let me tell you something. If someone gets mad at you for setting boundaries, that is proof that they were benefiting from you having none. Think about a plant. It needs sunlight, water, and care to grow. But what if it is surrounded by weeds that suck the nutrients from the soil? No matter how much you water it, no matter how much sunlight it gets, it will struggle. Your life is the same. No matter how hard you work on yourself, if you are surrounded by people who drain your energy, you will never reach your full potential. Some of you are carrying relationships that should have ended long ago. Friends who are only there when they need something. Family members who constantly criticize you. Partners who do nothing but bring you down. And yet you stay. You stay because you're afraid of being alone. You stay because you hope they will change. But deep down you know the truth. They are not changing. And every day you keep them in your life, you are choosing them over yourself. Imagine this. You have a friend who always doubts you. Every time you share your dreams, they laugh. Every time you succeed, they find a way to make you feel small. And every time you try to leave, they guilt trip you into staying. Oh, so you think you're better than me now. You've changed. You're being selfish. But tell me, why should you feel guilty for wanting to be happy? Why should you feel bad for protecting your peace? Strong people know that not everyone deserves access to them. They don't let guilt keep them in toxic relationships. They don't let history keep them tied to people who hurt them. They don't let the fear of loneliness make them settle for company that is destroying them. And let's talk about family. Because I know some of you are thinking, but what if it's my family? Listen, respect is a two-way street. Just because someone is related to you doesn't mean they have the right to mistreat you. You can love someone from a distance. You can care about them without allowing them to poison your mind. Blood doesn't give someone the right to bring chaos into your life. And if someone truly loves you, they will respect your boundaries. Now, let's talk about the guilt. Because the moment you start cutting off negative people, they will make you feel guilty. They will act like the victim. They will make you question yourself. But let me ask you, if someone truly cared about you, would they make you feel guilty for protecting your peace? Would they try to manipulate you into staying in a toxic relationship? No. The only people who get mad when you set boundaries are the ones who are benefiting from you having none. Picture this. You are on a boat and it is sinking because there are too many people on board. You have two choices. Keep everyone on and drown together, or let go of the extra weight and save yourself. Some of you are sinking because you are too afraid to let go. But here is the truth. Not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. Some people are only there to teach you a lesson. And some people, no matter how much you love them, are simply not good for you. Have you ever noticed how your energy changes when you're around certain people? Some people leave you feeling inspired, motivated, and full of life. Others leave you feeling exhausted, drained, and defeated. Pay attention to that, because your energy never lies. And let me tell you something else. The moment you start removing toxic people from your life, you make space for the right people to enter. The friends who uplift you, the mentors who guide you, the relationships that bring peace instead of chaos. But you will never find them if you're still holding on to people who don't deserve you. Stop feeling guilty for choosing yourself. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your energy. Stop feeling guilty for cutting off people who refuse to grow. You don't owe anyone your happiness. You don't owe anyone your peace. And if someone truly cared about you, they would want you to be happy, even if that means letting them go. Pain is a gift wrapped in thorns. It cuts deep. It burns. It makes you question everything. But if you know how to use it, pain becomes the most powerful fuel in your life. Every wound, every betrayal, every moment of suffering, it's all energy. You can let it destroy you, or you can let it build you. The choice is yours. Think about a diamond. A diamond is just a piece of coal that went through unbearable pressure. If it had a voice, it would scream. It would beg for mercy. But in the end, that same pressure turns it into something rare, something valuable, something unbreakable. And you are no different. The pain you have endured is shaping you into something stronger than you can imagine. Pain is a teacher that never speaks in whispers. It roars. It forces you to grow, to evolve, to break out of the shell you are too comfortable in. But here's the problem. Most people see pain as an enemy. They run from it. They let it make them bitter, not better. But those who truly succeed in life don't run from pain. They use it. They turn it into power. Imagine someone you love betrays you. The pain is unbearable. Your heart aches, your mind is flooded with questions, and you feel like you can't breathe. Now, you have two choices. You can let that pain define you. You can let it make you hate love, make you lose trust in everyone, make you afraid to ever open your heart again. Or you can use it. You can take that pain and turn it into a lesson, into wisdom, into strength. You can decide that instead of breaking you, this betrayer will build you. Pain is the greatest motivator in the world. Look at the most successful people, the ones who have built empires, the ones who have turned their dreams into reality. Do you think they had it easy? No. They were rejected, they were doubted, they were told they weren't good enough. But they took that pain, that anger, that frustration, and they used it to push themselves further than anyone expected. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Imagine that. One of the greatest athletes of all time was told he wasn't good enough. Do you know what he did? He used that pain. He practiced harder, trained longer, and refused to let that rejection define him. Now the world remembers his name. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before someone finally saw the magic in her story. Imagine if she had given up. Imagine if she had let that pain make her believe she wasn't good enough. But she didn't. She used it, and today she is one of the most successful authors in history. Now, think about your own life. Think about the moments that broke you, the moments that made you feel like you had nothing left. Did you use that pain, or did you let it use you? When life knocks you down, you have two options: stay down or rise up stronger. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never felt pain. They are the ones who turn their pain into power. They use their heartbreak to build resilience. They use their failures to sharpen their skills. They use their struggles to make them unstoppable. Think about fire. It can burn you, it can destroy you, but it can also give you warmth. It can cook your food. It can bring light in the darkness. Pain is the same. If you let it consume you, it will destroy you. But if you learn to control it, it will make you powerful beyond belief. Have you ever been hurt so badly that you thought you would never recover? That kind of pain can either make you or break you. But let me tell you something. The moment you stop seeing pain as your enemy and start seeing it as your weapon, your life will change forever. Use the pain of rejection to push yourself harder. Use the pain of failure to make yourself wiser. Use the pain of heartbreak to love yourself more. Because the truth is, pain doesn't weaken you, it reveals your strength. The strongest people you know are not the ones who have never suffered. They are the ones who have walked through fire and came out on the other side, unshaken, unbreakable, unstoppable. They are the ones who took every ounce of pain and transformed it into something extraordinary. So the next time you feel pain, don't ask why me, ask what is this teaching me? Don't say I can't take this anymore. Say this is making me stronger. Because every time you survive pain, you level up, you evolve, you become someone no one can mess with. And that is how you turn pain into power. The most powerful person in the room is not the one who shouts the loudest, nor the one who demands attention. It's the one who walks in with an unshakable mindset, unaffected by opinions, judgments, or the noise of the world. The one who has mastered the art of not caring. Not caring doesn't mean being cold or emotionless. It means refusing to let the world control you. It means you decide what affects you and what doesn't. It means living life on your own terms, unapologetically. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated because you were afraid of what people might think? How many dreams have you buried because someone said they were unrealistic? How many times have you dressed, spoken, or acted a certain way just to be accepted? And for what? The people you're trying so hard to please will forget about you in a second. But you're the one who has to live with the regret of not being true to yourself. People will talk, let them. People will judge, let them. Their opinions don't put food on your table, they don't pay your bills, they don't create your happiness. So why give them power over your life? The moment you stop caring about fitting into their expectations, you become untouchable. You become dangerous. Picture a lion walking through the jungle. Does it stop every time a dog barks? Does it waste its energy trying to explain to every animal why it's the king? No. It walks with power, unbothered, because it knows exactly who it is. Be the lion. Walk through life with that same energy. Let people talk. Let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. It's not your job to convince them of your worth. It's your job to live in a way that makes their opinions irrelevant. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they got where they are by constantly seeking approval? No. They had a vision, they had a purpose, and they refused to be distracted by what others thought. Elon Musk was laughed at for his ideas. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. But they didn't stop. They didn't let the noise of the world drown out their belief in themselves. They mastered the art of not caring. Now, look at your own life. How many times have you held yourself back because of fear? Fear of criticism, fear of rejection, fear of standing out? But let me tell you something, fear is a liar. The moment you stop caring about what others think, you set yourself free. Free to make bold moves, free to chase your dreams, free to become the version of yourself you were meant to be. Think about high school. Remember the pressure to fit in, to dress a certain way, to talk a certain way, to be liked by people who didn't even know who they were themselves? Now, look back. Do those people even matter anymore? Are they paying your bills? Are they building your future? No. So why do we still carry the same fear into adulthood? The truth is, most people are too busy worrying about themselves to be truly focused on you. And the few that do judge, they are either jealous, insecure, or bored with their own lives. So the next time someone criticizes you, smile. The next time someone doubts you, keep moving. The next time someone tells you that you're too much, remind them that playing small was never your thing. Your energy is too precious to be wasted on people who don't even matter in the grand scheme of your life. A true I don't care mindset is not about being rude or indifferent. It's about protecting your peace. It's about choosing where your energy goes. It's about prioritizing your happiness over their expectations. When you reach this level of thinking, life becomes easier. Stress disappears. Fear loses its grip. And suddenly you realize you were never really living for yourself before. You were living for them. Walk away from the negativity. Cut off the people who drain you. Stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Protect your mind like you protect your home. Don't let just anyone enter. Choose your battles wisely. Not everything deserves your reaction. Sometimes silence is the strongest response. Sometimes walking away is the biggest power move. And when people say you've changed, take it as a compliment. You're not here to stay the same. You're here to evolve, to grow, to become better every single day. And if your growth makes people uncomfortable, that's their problem, not yours. Master this mindset and you'll become unstoppable. Unshaken by rejection, undisturbed by gossip, unbothered by the noise. You'll walk with confidence, with purpose, with a kind of power that most people will never understand. And that, my friend, is the secret to real freedom. Love, attention, and respect. These are not things you should ever have to beg for. The moment you find yourself pleading for someone's time, affection, or acknowledgement, understand this, you are already losing. You are losing yourself, your dignity, your worth, and everything that makes you powerful. Love, real love, is not something you have to chase. Respect is not something you need to demand. And attention from the right people, it will find you without you having to lower yourself to get it. Imagine a queen. She does not walk into a room seeking validation. She does not beg for a seat at the table. She walks in with presence, and the world adjusts itself around her. That is exactly how you should carry yourself. You were not born to convince anyone of your value. You were born to stand in your power so firmly that those who truly see you will gravitate toward you. Effortlessly. Think about the times you waited by your phone, hoping for a text that never came. The times you went out of your way for someone who wouldn't even cross the street for you. The times you accepted less than you deserved just to feel wanted. But what did you gain from it? Pain, doubt, the crushing feeling of being unseen, unheard, and unappreciated. Let me tell you something. Love that makes you question your worth is not love. Attention that comes only when it's convenient for them is not real attention. Respect that disappears when you stop giving them what they want is not respect at all. You do not have to earn love. You do not have to work for someone's attention like a performer on a stage. You do not have to break yourself into pieces just to be noticed. The right people, the ones who truly value you, will see you without you having to scream for it. Look around. The strongest, most magnetic people are the ones who do not chase. They attract. They do not cry for attention. They command it without effort. And do you know how they do it? By knowing their worth, by walking away from anyone who does not recognize it, by refusing to settle for breadcrumbs when they deserve the whole feast. Think about the most powerful figures in history. Did Cleopatra beg for love? Did Marilyn Monroe cry for attention? Did Oprah Winfrey demand people to respect her? No. They carried themselves with a level of self-worth so unshakable that the world had no choice but to take notice. And that is the secret. Not chasing, not begging, but being. Being so firm in your value that anything less than what you deserve naturally falls away. And let's talk about relationships. Love is not supposed to be a battlefield where one person fights for attention while the other barely lifts a finger. If you ever feel like you have to convince someone to love you, to make time for you, or to treat you with basic human respect, walk away. The right love will never leave you questioning. The right people will make sure you feel valued, even in the smallest ways. A good morning text, a call just to check on you, a simple "I appreciate you." And if you have to beg for respect, that's not respect at all. If someone truly respects you, they won't need to be reminded to treat you well. It will come naturally. The way they speak to you, the way they prioritize you, the way they consider your feelings. If someone doesn't respect you, your time, or your boundaries, stop trying to change them. People do not change unless they want to. Instead, change the way you respond. Change the way you allow yourself to be treated. Have you ever noticed that the more you chase someone, the further they run? But the moment you step back, focus on yourself, and stop caring whether they stay or leave, suddenly they notice you. That's because desperation is unattractive. Strength is magnetic. Confidence, self-assurance, and an "I don't need you to be happy" mindset will always draw the right people into your life. So the next time someone treats you like an option, remember this: you are not one, you are the prize. You are the kind of person someone should be honored to have in their life. And if they don't see that, if they can't appreciate your presence, give them the gift of your absence. Because when you stop begging, stop chasing, and start knowing your worth, that's when you truly become untouchable. If you take only one thing from this, let it be this: you were never meant to beg for what is already yours by right. Love, attention, respect, these are not luxuries. They are the natural responses of people who truly see your worth. And if someone cannot give you these without you having to lower yourself, then they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. A lion does not beg the jungle to acknowledge its presence. The sun does not plead with the world to shine. And you, yes, you should never have to convince anyone of your value. You are the fire, the storm, the force that cannot be ignored. The moment you stop chasing is the moment you step into your power. The moment you stop pleading for love is the moment you start receiving it in its purest form. People will try to make you feel that without them you are nothing, that without their validation you are incomplete. But let me remind you, diamonds do not beg to be noticed, and the ocean does not need permission to roar. You are whole, you are enough, and anyone who makes you feel otherwise has no place in your world. Think of the greatest names in history, the ones who changed the world, the ones whose presence could not be ignored. Do you think they begged for approval? No. They stood tall, they moved forward, and they let the right people find them. You do not chase greatness, you become it. So, from this moment on, make yourself a promise. Promise yourself that you will never again shrink to fit into spaces that do not deserve you. Promise yourself that you will never again beg for a seat at a table where you are not valued. Instead, build your own table. Stand so tall that those who once ignored you have no choice but to notice. Walk with so much confidence that the world adjusts to your energy. Let them wonder why you no longer try so hard. Let them feel your absence and regret taking you for granted. Let them see that you are not someone who waits in the shadows, hoping to be chosen. You are the light. And when you shine, those who are meant to be in your life will come to you, not because you begged, not because you pleaded, but because they recognize your worth. If someone cannot love you without conditions, let them go. If someone cannot respect you without reminders, walk away. And if someone only notices you when you stop trying, understand that they were never truly yours to begin with. This is your time. This is your moment. No more begging, no more chasing, no more waiting for people to see you. You see yourself. You choose yourself. And that is the kind of energy that changes everything. So go. Walk like the world is already yours. Speak like your words shape destinies. Love yourself so fiercely that anyone who enters your life has no choice but to love you the same way. Because when you know your worth, when you refuse to settle, when you stand in your power unapologetically, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you.